Let me refresh this. You're going to see the fireworks right here. Let's click this. Actually, let's go back. Congratulations to Liverpool. Congrats on winning the 2021-22 Carabao Cup final. I made the right call. I didn't predict the right scoreline, but I made the right call. And I'm happy I made the right call. You know what I mean? It's good to make the right call. Because if I had said Chelsea would have won the Carabao Cup final, the Liverpool fans would have been on my ass right now. You see what I'm saying? But the Liverpool fans would actually be just giving me praises. They would be saying good things about me. They would be telling me thanks for relinquishing the Carabao Cup and, passing it over to Liverpool. But before I get deeper into this, right, I'll just congrats to Liverpool and their fans, right? But the way Liverpool celebrated this, the way Klopp celebrated, the way the players celebrated, you could see how much it meant to them. You could see how much this little Carabao Cup trophy meant to Liverpool and their fans. It meant a lot. And it came as a big surprise to me because this was a trophy that Klopp and the Liverpool fans, the players, they were all talking down this trophy. Get rid of the Carabao Cup. It's too extra. Think of player welfare. Maybe the trophy is unnecessary. It's City's cup. It's the Mickey Mouse Cup. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. This was such a high-stake game. The way Liverpool and Chelsea played on the day, it was, you would have thought if you didn't know, somebody could have convinced you that was a Champions League final. Seriously. It was a good game. It could have went either way. I think Liverpool do deserve it at the end of the day. And kudos to Chelsea for actually going out there and playing some good football as well, where they shoulda, coulda, woulda won it. You know what I'm saying? Very poor finishing by Chelsea, I gotta say. But look, in terms of both teams here and their journey in the EFL Cup, let's touch on that a little bit. I just want to touch on that a little bit before I really get into things. And I'm trying to just go back to when these teams first went into the competition. I think they came in the third round, where Chelsea defeated Aston Villa 5-4 on penalties. And you guys would understand why Kepa was actually brought into the team as well, where it took penalties for them to get over Aston Villa, right? For Liverpool, in their game in the third round, Liverpool defeated Norwich 3-0. In the fourth round, for Chelsea in the fourth round, they had to get over Southampton as well, 5-4 on pens. So you see what's going on here, right? You see what's going on here. For Liverpool, they defeated Preston 2-0. In the quarterfinals, Liverpool had to get the better of Leicester on penalties as well, 8-7 on penalties. And I think Kelleher was involved in that penalty shootout. Yes, he was. For Chelsea, they beat Brentford 2-0. So Chelsea had to play against all Premier League oppositions in the entire Carabao Cup competition. Semi-final against Spurs, Chelsea won 2-0 in the first leg and 1-0 in the second. Liverpool 0-0 against Arsenal and 2-0 in the second leg. And they met for the grand final. And it was indeed a grand final. A high-stake game for the first trophy available in England apart from the Community Shield, of course, this season, right? First trophy. I remember I called this I talked up this trophy, and everyone said, man, stop talking about this trophy. This trophy ain't no damn trophy to be talking about. You see what I mean? And I'm talking all facts here. I'm happy for Liverpool. I would have been happy for Chelsea too, who won the Club World Cup recently and the Super Cup already this season. So they've won silverware. Both teams have won silverware already this season. So in terms of the lineups here, let's just take a look at the lineups here for both teams. And for Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel went in with Edouard Mendy. And I don't understand Tuchel, right? Because you either go in with Kepa and stay with Kepa, because he was the man in the cup all season. You sort of betrayed him, played Mendy, and then you question Mendy's ability in a penalty shootout where he recently proved that he could manage a penalty shootout at the Africa Cup of Nations. You took him out, brought in Kepa, and that was ultimately the change that lost Chelsea the final, right? Where Kepa, instead of taking a penalty, took a goal kick. See what I mean? Trevor Chalobah involved ahead of Andreas Christensen, who fell ill or got injured. Thiago Silva, Rudiger, expected those guys to play. Aspilicueta ahead of James coming back from injury. Kante and Kovacic ahead of Jorginho. Alonso, he's the only left back, so, he featured. Pulisic, Mount, and Havertz, they all deserve to be caned. See those 3 chairs over there? Bend over. 100 lashes apiece. Because these guys are so wasteful, man. Wasteful on the day. It's like Chelsea the players were born offside as well. And another big talking point is Romelu Lukaku not being involved from the start. So that's what Chelsea looked like from the get-go. For Liverpool, I expected a front 3 of Diaz, Mane, and Salah. These guys have been in good form, and they played well in the match for the most part. Naby Keita was a late addition after Thiago got injured for the game and was in tears. Cause I think Thiago had a feeling that Liverpool were going to win the match. Fabinho has been huge. What a Panenka by him. Henderson, captain, back, lifting another trophy. And the back line, as expected, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, and Alexander-Arnold. But the the biggest decision that Klopp had to make, where I think he made the decision already, where he said Kelleher would be his goalkeeper in the final, and probably his only injury would have prevented him from making the cut. Klopp stuck with his word, and Klopp said sometimes being human has to take precedent over being a professional. And I think Tuchel was more a professional on the day than a human. You see what I'm saying? Whereas Klopp was more human. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I think the fans love Klopp a lot, because of more things like this and decisions like that. Because Tuchel, he's thinking, he's being very robotic when you think about it. He's thinking, look at how he's behaving on the touchline every time Chelsea miss a shot or they were offside and he's celebrating. Come on, man. You know what I mean? In the end, when you really look at it, Tuchel never really kept his poise on the day. He really didn't. And Klopp is the one who did, kept his calm and everything, and was ultimately rewarded. And the decision to play Kelleher, second fiddle goalkeeper, the boy Quivine, above Alisson, big Brazilian goalkeeper, who logically I would have played Alisson. I don't care. See what I'm saying? I don't care how many games Kelleher played in the cup. I'm playing Alisson. I'm playing my best team. Klopp played Kelleher, and Kelleher was a hero at the end of the day when you really think about it. Great saves made throughout the game. So did Mendy. The goalkeeping display on the day, top notch. I think Lev Yashin would actually be proud of the goalkeeping on the day. The football on the day, top notch. A great advert for the EFL, a great advert for the Premier League. You got to give it to both Chelsea and Liverpool, who are showing that they're both top Premier League teams. Top of the line Premier League teams. Look, teams haven't been able to separate themselves this season, but their position in the league is not down to how they play against themselves or each other. It's how you play against the other 19 teams in the league, right? Chelsea, they're a quality team. Liverpool, a quality team. City, a quality team. You see what I'm saying? And there's a few more other quality teams, you know what I mean? But it's how you play against the other 19 teams that determine your league status. But for Cup, anything could happen. You see what I'm saying? Anything could happen in a Cup final. And anything could happen when you have a Liverpool coming up against a Chelsea, and they were evenly matched on the day. This was a even as a game could be. Off the bench, Ibrahima Konate, James Milner, Diogo Jota, Divock Origi, Harvey Elliott for Liverpool, Reece James, Timo Werner, Lukaku, and Jorginho, along with Kepa for Chelsea. They could have actually used an extra sub apiece, but the teams didn't choose to pick the extra sub. So we take a look at here. German managers. I think now Klopp has become the first German manager to win the League Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And wasn't Klopp the first German manager to win the Premier League as well? So got to give it to Jurgen Klopp, man. Battle of the Germans. Klopp gets the better of Tuchel once again, where both managers have taken the same trajectory in the managerial career, managing both Mainz and Dortmund, and now managing Premier League clubs as well. Champions League final and loss for both of them. Champions League final and won in the next season. So it was a great spectacle, man. Great spectacle. And in terms of the game, guys, let's just pull up the stats here as I just go through each and every one of the key moments of this match. So, big chance in the early stages of the game. 6-minute Pulisic, I don't know how he don't score. And point blank range set up by Azpilicueta. Kelleher with the big save. So, when I tell you got to give it to Kelleher, that was a magnificent save. Chelsea look, even though Liverpool had their chances, the game could have went a different way if Chelsea had taken theirs, right? Where Liverpool would have had to chase, they would have left themselves open, and they would have been susceptible to conceding more goals. But Chelsea just couldn't score, and they had the better chances. Liverpool had some good chances in the game, but Chelsea had some, like, put the ball in the back of the net, like, here, it's there, take it, kind of chances. It's right there, here you go. These chances were put on a platter for Chelsea. Liverpool had their chance there in the 18th minute when Mane had a ball put in by Trent and he didn't connect with the header. Mane's good with the head. On any other day, he buries that, right? And then Liverpool had a great period where they had a double chance and Mendy pulling off some world-class saves there. I still don't think Mendy's the best goalkeeper in the world, but still, who am I to say he's not, right? So, big save from the Naby Keita shot. Let me just drink a little coconut water and quench my thirst. I've been talking a lot, you know what I'm saying? The other day I said lubricate. I shouldn't say I lubricate my throat or anything like that. That's not right. That's not right. But look, the double save by Mendy, big point in the game as well. Keita with a good shot. I think Naby Keita played very well on the day. Gotta give it to Keita. He wasn't even supposed to start, but he played well. And Mendy with the double save after the rebound. How he came up. Look, the way he got up and saved that Mane shot was reminiscent of me playing FIFA career mode. It's a career mode goalkeeper kind of move. You know what I mean? Don't know how the goalkeepers be getting up so quick. And that was actually the reason I think maybe Mendy played above Kepa. Because if that was Kepa, that's a goal. That's a goal. Maybe even the first shot would have gone in. No disrespect, but Kepa, most expensive goalkeeper of all time, is not that good. Look, there was a chance in the 42nd minute for Azpilicueta that he put over, that he came close. Chelsea looked very dangerous on the counter throughout the first half, where Liverpool dominated possession. Chelsea just defended in numbers, soaked up the pressure and transition, broke. And they really looked good on the counter attacks, but just couldn't score as well. Huge chance in the 45th minute for Mason Mount. And I don't know how he missed that. Really don't know how he missed the goal. But Mason Mount, this is a game to forget. This is a game in the future, right? When Mason Mount's retired and he's doing interviews and they bring up the Carabao Cup final of 2022. Mason Mount might just walk out of interviews because he's like, I don't want to talk about that. That's a horrible memory, and you're bringing up scars right now. You know what I mean? Come on, don't do that. Don't do that. You're unearthing scars. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop it. It was a game to forget. And the first big thing that happened in the second half was Mason Mount hitting the post after a brilliant ball played over Liverpool's defense. I don't understand how. I'm still trying to figure out how Mason Mount didn't score. And Chelsea should have been comfortably in the lead. I know Liverpool had their chances, but those chances that Chelsea had, the Azpilicueta, the Pulisic, and the two chances by Mount, Chelsea should have been up by at least, let's leave margin for error, at least 2 goals. They should have been 2-0 up. 0-0. I think they created the better chances, but just didn't capitalize. The game was played at a very, very high tempo. And at that point of the game, about the 1 hour mark, Liverpool had 62% of the ball. 62%. You heard that right. 62. You see they finished with 55%, but they had most of the ball, but it was Chelsea creating those chances. You got to give it to the Chelsea defense for keeping Liverpool quiet as well. There was a moment where Keita and Chalobah clashed, and there was actually a VAR review, nothing given. Rightfully so. I think it was just a 50-50. Kelleher had to make a save from a Mason Mount shot again. So big up to Kelleher for the performance, and Mount for being very inept in goal. Not very good on the day. Salah had a chance, but I think he was too casual, where he was played in behind and he tried to chip the ball but didn't get enough on the ball, and it was cleared even before it got to the line. So that's a chance there that Liverpool should have actually scored, but they were showing signs. And then the goal came from a Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick headed across the goal by Mane and headed in by Joel Matip. And they celebrated, but then, of course, VAR had to be involved, and they ruled out the goal. The goal was disallowed for Van Dijk fouling Reece James, who had came into the game. So I was like, whoa, what happened there? The thing I don't like about VAR is they just find somewhere to look into every single thing, you know what I mean? Where before, that would have never been spotted. If there was no VAR, that would have been a goal. That would have been a goal. Tuchel reacted. Made a few subs. Werner, Lukaku came on. He took Mount and Pulisic out the game. Another question, right? Let me just click the lineup again. Let me just double check the... Oh, maybe Hakim Ziyech may have been injured because he wasn't involved. I think Ziyech probably was injured. I didn't see that during the build-up. I didn't really see anything about Ziyech being injured during the build-up, but I guess Ziyech, this game was probably screaming out for Hakim Ziyech in a Chelsea perspective, right? So, and big up the Chelsea perspective as well. How are you doing if you're watching this? But look, Thomas Tuchel tried to affect the game and brought on Lukaku, brought on Werner. Luis Diaz had a chance in the 75th, saved. poor finish, I think. And Chelsea scored, but Havertz was offside. I think Chelsea's forwards were actually, it's like they were born offside, man, because I don't understand how you score so many offside goals in one game. And they were like, with the exception of the Lukaku goal, that one was touch and go. All the others were like really offside. Havertz was poor under the in terms of his positioning, but finishing, he finished, but it didn't count. Luis Diaz in the 87th minute, Luis Diaz had a bright game, and he has definitely hit the ground running in the Premier League. And you got to commend players like Diaz, you got to commend Dejan Kulusevski, you got to commend players like Thomas Shusek and Vladimir Kufal, who just came into the Premier League and said, what is the Premier League? It's like any other league. And they just hit the ground running, you know what I mean? But Diaz had a shot blocked. The rebound was dealt with. And then there was a Virgil van Dijk header in the 91st minute that was saved by Mendy. And the rebound was kept out as well. So the goalkeeping display on the day was upper echelon stuff, you know. Lukaku had the chance saved in the 95th minute by Kelleher as well. So it was top class stuff. Top class. This game could have went anyway, but of course it had to finish 0-0 and go all the way to pens, right? Look, in the 30-minute period, before they started, you know, the players were exhausted. You know what I'm saying? The players were knackered. After the rigorous schedule, they had to play 30 minutes again. You see what I'm saying? But that was a test of mental and physical strength, which Liverpool prevailed, by the way, and they proved to be better than Chelsea when it comes to that. Even if one player had to be the fall guy, Liverpool still, you know, earned more marks at the end of the day. Lukaku in the 8th minute of extra time scored, but the flag came up very close. I think that was touch and go. For a moment, I actually thought the green line was going to pop up when they showed a VAR offside check on the screen, and I was like, God damn, that was close. That was like marginal. Like it was just his shirt sleeve. It was a shirt sleeve, basically, that was offside, when you really think about it. Havertz did score again in the 30th minute of extra time, like the last kick of the ball, probably final moments, last big play at least, and that was offside as well. And I was like, what is going on with Chelsea? So at the end of the day, when you really look back at it, Chelsea had opportunities to win this game within 90 and even in extra time, but just couldn't hold their runs and just didn't take their chances. So stars just aligned for Liverpool on the day, where Jurgen Klopp even said they needed a little bit of luck on the day, and they got that luck. Where the luck even swung Liverpool's way as well is maybe if Edward Mendy went into that penalty shootout, Chelsea could have won the game, right? All right. Kepa's done it before. He's come into games off the bench and won penalty shootouts. So for Tuchel, he's thinking logically, I'm going to be predictable, take Mendy off, bring on Kepa, and repeat the trick again. No, it never happened, man. 21 penalties were put in. 21. And the 22nd penalty was not even a penalty. It was a goal kick taken by Kepa. It was a brilliant penalty shootout. It's one of the most tense penalty shootouts I've ever seen. Milner stepped up. He dispatched. Alonso dispatched. Fabinho, cooler than Gregory Isaacs himself with a Panenka. Lukaku under immense pressure in the media. Big money, he put away brilliantly. Virgil van Dijk put away brilliantly. Havertz did well. Trent Alexander-Arnold put away. Reece James put away. Salah put away. Jorginho hopped and skipped and put away. Into sudden death, Diego Jota was a bit nervous, but he put it away. Rudiger was cool. Origi was even cooler. N'Golo Kante put away his penalty. Andy Robertson, a little nervous, but he put his away. Even Timo Werner almost got his save, but he, sneaked it into the back of the net. Harvey Elliott, one of the only, if not, I think Harvey Elliott was actually the only, Harvey Elliott was one of the fewer left footers that took kicks on the day. Yeah, there was a few. There was Robertson, Salah, Lukaku, Havertz, Alonso. Yeah. But Harvey Elliott, the youngest on the day to take a penalty, and he put his penalty away. He wasn't even supposed to play the game. So that's how the stars definitely aligned for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott wasn't supposed to play. Naby Keita wasn't supposed to really start the game. And everything just aligned, man. Everything aligned. Thiago Silva stepped up, put away. Konate, he took the worst penalty of all the penalty takers, where Kepa got a hand to it, and that ended up in the back of the net. Trevor Chalobah put away coolly. And the penalty taken by Kevin Kelleher, that was an exquisitely taken penalty. And up step Kepa Arrizabalaga. Guys, I had to laugh. I was at work. I was on overtime. And I was praying I didn't have to get out of my pickup to, go do something. Because I would have missed this very hilarious penalty. That has to be one of the worst penalties of all time. Of all time. You see what I'm saying? That penalty is the worst penalty. Actually, it's worse than the Ademola Lookman penalty from last season. This is the worst penalty I've ever seen in such a crunch game, where Kepa just didn't take his time. He was in goal kick mode and skied it. You know when you play FIFA and you got a penalty to take, and maybe your girl come in the room and ask you something and distract you, and you don't take the penalty, and then the computer takes the penalty for you, and they just sky it? That's what Kepa basically did on the day. Yeah, that Simone Zaza penalty was really bad too, from the Euros, right? That was from the Euros. Nah, this one was the worst penalty, man. It's a crunch game. It's a cup final. It's a cup final where you could have taken the kicks into another round, and I would have wanted to see the other round, though. And Kepa blasted it into row Z. Liverpool celebrated like they had just won the Champions League. Look, which celebration was more emphatic? The Champions League celebration or this one, man? Seriously. Because, look, Liverpool was actually, over the moon, ecstatic about it. And as I said, I was surprised. I was really surprised that the Liverpool players reacted like this. This could have been the same Liverpool that was talking shit about the Carabao Cup last 5 seasons or so. You see what I'm saying? It couldn't be. But well deserved at the end of the day. I called it. I got it right. And Liverpool are the new champions of the EFL Carabao Cup, the League Cup. I think they're the most successful team in terms of the League Cup as well, where they have, I think Liverpool now have 8 League Cup titles, and Manchester City got about 7 if I'm not mistaken. So results by club, let me see. Yeah, Liverpool do have 9 right now, and City got 8. So Liverpool and City were tied, and now Liverpool are the most successful team in terms of the League Cup, where they have won it in 2021-22, 2011-12, 02-03, 2000, 2001, 94-95, 83-84, 82-83, 81-82, and 80-81. So congratulations to the Reds, who also made the finals in 1977-78, 86-87, 2004-05, and 15-16, Klopp's first domestic final where he lost to City. And got to give it up to Klopp. He's been in quite a few finals where he lost. You think about that Europa League final against Sevilla. You think about the Carabao Cup final against Man City. And, of course, you think about the Champions League final where he lost and went on to win it the next year. So, kudos to Klopp. Kudos to Liverpool. Klopp's building a wicked team right now. He's had a good team. He's helped rebuild Liverpool. And it's surprising that this is only his second domestic trophy since he came in 2015. You see what I'm saying? So Klopp's been there for a while. That's 7 years. Only 2 domestic trophies. Come on, man. Come on. You gotta win a couple more. A Champions League to go with that, a Club World Cup and a Super Cup. But yeah, man, you gotta win a couple more domestic trophies. Liverpool got their tails up. They're talking quadruple. Champions League, FA Cup, even the league to go with the League Cup. Could it happen? It's left to be seen. Very unlikely, but who knows? It is still possible. Look, hard luck to Chelsea. Hard luck. They have competed. Chelsea have actually been in the final of a domestic cup for the past 6 years. Every year, Chelsea, I think, find themselves in the final of either the FA Cup or the League Cup, I think. I think that's a stat that was out there as well. So, yeah. Yeah, man. Congrats to Liverpool. In terms of, and hard luck to Chelsea, hard luck. They must have felt, away. See the stats here, Liverpool with 20 shots at goal, 6 on target, 55% of the ball. Chelsea, 11 shots, 4 on target, 45% of the ball. A lot of offsides in there as well. So, in terms of we don't have anything else to really touch on here in terms of insights or anything. But I wanted to pull up some up-to stats for this one as well. I'm pretty sure there's some up-to stats. And it's a Twitter, up to Joe. My Twitter is defaulted to up to Joe though. So, 10. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has now won the 10th trophy of his managerial career. 5 with Borussia Dortmund, the Bundesliga twice, the EFL Cup, Super Cup twice, and the DFB Pokal once. And 5 with Liverpool, Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, and the League Cup. Juggernaut. I think, the Club World Cup and the Super Cup is, you know what I mean? But the Champions League is the crown in Klopp's, the jewel in Klopp's crown so far. And that one Premier League title that he won. But I think it should have been more. This Liverpool team is good enough that they should have won a couple more trophies. You see what I'm saying? Because if you think about what Pep's done in that same period, yeah, he haven't won the Champions League, I know. But the amount of League Cups, the FA Cup, the league titles, you see what I'm saying? Put in the Community Shields as well. So, still, but not to take anything away from Klopp. I'm just saying, and I know Liverpool fans, even though they're grateful for the silverware, would think that, yeah, there could be a bit more, but maybe for the future. You see what I'm saying? Maybe for the future. 9. Liverpool have won the League Cup for the 9th time in their history. Now an outright record surpassing Manchester City. Glorious. 11-10. Liverpool's 11-10 shootout win over Chelsea is the highest scoring penalty shootout between two English top-flight teams. Tense. And you could see the Liverpool team celebrating there. You know that run after you win a penalty shootout. Picturesque, man. Picturesque. If only this Liverpool team was as good as Manchester City, you know what I'm saying? I gotta hit you with a few jabs, man. Look, 2. This is the first time 2 managers of the same nationality will face each other in a League Cup final since the 2012 final where Kenny Dalglish and Malky Mackay, and the first time ever that 2 non-British managers of the same nationality are facing in the showpiece Affinity. 28 Chelsea, 28 years, 91 days against Liverpool, 28 years, 115 days is the first time both League Cup finalists have had a starting 11 of average age of 28 plus since Bolton versus Middlesbrough in 2004. Trusted. All right. To the marks, 23 years since the last time a team fielded an all-English starting 11 in the Premier League, with Aston Villa doing so versus Coventry in 1999. Who did that? Who did that, though? Who did that? To the mark, the first, 23 years. Okay. Because I'm like, I can't remember anything like that happening this weekend in this day and age. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, man, that's my thoughts on the Carabao Cup final. It's now 20 past midnight local time here in New York City. If you guys have any question for me, let me know.